Hi, this is Richie Retro, and I'm here with Peter Kid 98,
Hello.
and he's going to test us
She.
on. She's going to test me on. What is it again?
Okay,
You
Alex.
explain it.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play 15 songs that can all be played on an actual retro console, whether it be a handheld or a home console, and he has to guess what it's actually being played on.
Oh dear, this could be a massive fail, but let's see. Let's see.
Now, the rule is all you need to guess is the console. You don't need to know what it's from, you don't need to know the name of the song. All you need to know is the name of the console. Okay?
Fire away.
VLC is just starting up.
He's just winding the crank handle up.
You keep saying he.
Sorry.
Like I said, I'm going to throw a few curveballs to you.
Now, would I say Genesis or Mega Drive? Because you know I'm Mega Drive and you're more Genesis.
Yeah, but is that your final guess? Because remember, you only get one guess.
Mega Drive.
Incorrect. That was actually Game Boy, original Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Yep, that's original Game Boy.
What the little the black screen, not the colour screen, the original.
The green one.
Green
Yes.
one, aye.
Yes. That's actually sample guitars on the original Game Boy.
That was funky, that mind.
Yeah, it really was. It's actually from a really. Well, it's not an infamous game, but it's a pretty terrible game based on the Little Nicky movie, you know, with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for a terrible game based on a terrible movie, you listen to that and it's like, holy shit, they really knew.
But
what they were doing.
is that exactly how it would have sounded?
Yes,
Oh,
that can actually play it on an actual Game Boy console.
that's okay. Next one.
Okay, so you've got 0 out of 15 at the moment. Next one.
Master System.
Well, it just proves how little you know, because that's incorrect. That's actually the SNES.
See, I've never had them consoles. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you have played an SNES game before on emulation.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. If it's not one console, it's probably, if it's not the Sega console, it's probably a Nintendo console. So that's you have to realize, like, and some like sound fonts sound remarkably similar because it's on like a similar sound chip. So here's the next one. Now I know for a fact you'll get this one.
That's a Mega Drive.
That is the Mega Drive. That is indeed. You got 1 out of 15. Now, this is another one that I know you'll get. Again, I've included some that you know, but some that you don't know.
That sounds like Chuck Rock.
It is Chuck Rock.
Is that a Mega CD?
No, it isn't actually. I don't know. Wait, I'm actually not going to count that answer because we said no CD quality audio consoles, so I'm not going to count that answer.
See, because the Mega CD still sounds.
It doesn't. It's just because it's emulating the sound, or it's
So was that the Master System then?
No, that was the Mega Drive.
Was that the Mega Drive as well?
That was the Mega Drive. How the hell did you mistake that? Like the Mega Drive and Genesis have that distinctive twang. In fact, I'll play one that I know that hit. No.
Do I get a point for getting the game right?
No, unfortunately. Okay, let's try the next one. We talked about this before, by the way. Remember?
That sounds like the Master System.
No, incorrect. That's actually the Wonder Swan. That's Rockman and Forte 2. We've talked about it before.
I've got a memory to save.
Well, currently you've got 1 out of 15.
Excellent.
Here, this one. I'll give you one tiny clue because you might be confused. It's a Nintendo console, not a Sega console. That's your only clue.
64.
No. Wait, again, I mean, that actually, yeah, that isn't CD quality audio, but no, that's actually the Game Boy Advance.
Is it?
It's from Sonic Battle. Now this one might...
So the Nintendos, if that's the case, the Nintendos can only be the handhelds.
Well, no, actually, because the Nintendo 64
But that was the disc in the top of the Nintendo 64.
Nope. That was unless you have the Nintendo 64 disc drive, no, that's cartridges and it's using sound fonts. So that's incorrect. The GameCube is the one.
Oh, sorry, it was the Xbox. No, sorry, the GameCube. Yes,
the GameCube,
that was it. Yes.
Yeah, that's the one with CD quality.
Because the old Nintendo 64 had like the dome shape on the top where the cartridge went in.
Yes.
And the massive.
Yeah. I'll give you one tip for the rest of these. I haven't included any N64 ones because I actually just realized, oh yeah, it uses sound fonts. Okay, this one might confuse you, but try to think about it.
What, like the rest haven't?
Okay, listen to this one. Your one tip for this is that it's not. I don't think it's technically a home console. That's your only tip. I've completely forgotten if it was a home console. I think it was actually. I believe it used floppy disks. There we go. That's your only hit.
Floppy disks.
I believe.
Pass.
Okay, that would be the Commodore Amiga.
Because that could have been a cassette as well.
I believe it. I don't remember if it was a cassette or if it was like a floppy disk. You know, here's one more.
See, to me, that sounds like a Mega Drive.
It sounds like. Is that your final answer? Now remember, this console can sound many different ways. The Mega Drive and Genesis have a very distinctive way of sounding. This console has a special way of sounding depending on the game. That's your only tip.
No, if it's not a Mega Drive, I don't know.
That was the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
The Super
Is that a cartridge one?
Yes. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, you've
The
heard,
SNES.
yes, the SNES. Now you've heard music similar to this before, so I wonder if you'll get this one. Now think before you speak. Because what you might be thinking might be wrong.
Sounds like 8-bit or below.
It is 8-bit.
8-bit, so what choice have I got there then?
Now think about what does it sound like. The next one will make you think, oh yeah, that's definitely different. One of the 8-bit consoles.
Oh, I think about the minute, a Master System.
Incorrect. That was the NES. And then this is the next one. Now, if you listen to this one, you'll start thinking, oh, okay.
Master System.
That one's the Master System. Correct. You realize do you hear how different the NES and the Master System sound? Like the NES sounds like a and the Master System's like a do. It's like
Master System was on speed.
Yeah, that was actually from Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. Now this is the next one.
Anybody out there give us a hand? No.
You have to listen to that distinctive sound for each console, because each handheld console has a distinctive sound that tells
So it's a handheld.
No.
And you've just said each handheld console.
Oh, did I say handheld?
Yeah.
Okay, that was my mistake. Sorry, I meant instead of handheld, I meant to say each console with a
Game Boy Advance.
Incorrect. That was actually the the Mega Drive.
Was it?
That was the Mega Drive.
Yeah, as I was going to say Mega Drive, but obviously I thought you were tricking us there when you said handheld console.
That was my mistake. But yeah, that was the Mega Drive.
Boo!
Sorry. Okay, here's the next one. You know what? Since you were thinking it, should I give you that?
I think you should, because I was thinking Mega Drive until you threw that curveball in.
You know, just for my own mistake, I'm going to give you that one because you were thinking the Mega Drive. Just for that one. That's my mistake. I'll give you a pity point.
Oh, fucking keep it. I don't want your pity.
Here's the next one.
You know when you recognise the game as well?
I do, yeah. What's the console though? If you know the game, what's the console? We've spoken about it many times.
Sounds like Space Harrier.
It's not Space Harrier.
Sounds like it though.
It doesn't sound anything like it. Space Harrier is a completely different melody. We've spoken about this before, that's your only tip. Well, for one, is it 8-bit or 16-bit?
It sounds 16.
It does sound impressive, but I'll give you a tip. You're wrong.
So it's 8-bit.
It actually is 8-bit. It's a very impressive 8-bit song, but it is 8-bit.
Is that the Master System?
It is in fact the NES. That is Journey to Silius from the NES.
You have mentioned that one.
I have many times.
But you know, it didn't sound like an 8-bit.
It really doesn't. That's why it's a bit of a curveball. It really doesn't sound like an 8-bit song. It doesn't sound like the NES can handle that, but it's because all the stuff is in the cartridge, so it bypasses the internal sound chip. Okay, here's the next one. Now think about how it sounds. What does it sound like? It's like, does it sound 8-bit or 16-bit? Does it sound like a Nintendo console or a Sega console? If you've listened to any of the other sounds, how does it sound?
That sounds Sega to me.
That is actually the SNES. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
I'm shit at this.
You really are. Okay, here's the next one. Now it's a bit crusty with the audio, but you can still hear it. Now listen to that distinctive sound. What does it sound like?
That sounds like a Game Boy.
You're absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. That is in fact a Game Boy song. Now here's the final one. This one will definitely throw you off. And yes, this can be played on an old console that using sound fonts. This is not CD quality audio. It just sounds that good. I may have said I would throw you a few curveballs, but I'm not cheating.
NES?
Incorrect. That is SNES.
So I went down the right path. Nintendo.
You were definitely on the right path, but you were on the wrong bit. So your final score is
So
4
was
out
that
of 15.
Was that a 16-bit?
That was 16-bit. That was
Sounded
from
more
Earthbound.
like 8-bit. That like.
Well, certain sound fonts on the SNES sound a bit weird. Like, for example, you've heard like the Mega Man X sound font, then you've heard a Sparkster sound font, or like listen to these differences. Now, this obviously you've got 4 out of 15, but listen to them carefully. Like that's Mega Man X. Then Sparkster. Oh wait, sorry, that's the wrong one. Good. Then Star Fox. These are all on the same console, by the way. Other than the one that I accidentally played, which was from the Mega Drive. Now Earthbound. You'd be shocked how different they sound, but it's on the same console using the exact same sound chip. So yeah, your final score is 4 out of 15.
4 out of 15. Yeah. It's.
Though to be fair, a few of them were a bit confusing.
I've got no excuse. Shit. But anyway, this is just the start. We've got a lot more stuff to come, different things. So hopefully you're gonna like what you see. You keep watching. But thank you. I've been Richie Retro.
And I've been Pika Kid 98.
And thank you for watching. Bye bye.